Welcome everyone to Growth School. It's an amazing time to be here again. I hope you're set and ready for what we have. Chinaye from Abia State, welcome. Looks like your people are so extra excited today. It's nice to have you on Growth School. I think I need to dig some deep into the history of Abia State and know why the people there are so excited. Welcome, Chinaye. Welcome, Emmanuel from Ogun State. Is glad to have you again. Emmanuel, nice to see you again. Emmanuel is one of our loyal followers and members of Growth School. Nice to have you again tonight. It's going to be an amazing time. Oda, thank you for joining from Lagos. Adeife Adewale, thank you for joining from Lagos. All right, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We're so delighted to have you on Growth School. I know every time we come on Growth School, it's always an exceptional, phenomenal time. And if you can remember, since January, we've started sharing about influence. Why? Because a lot of people are interested to become influential, but they do not know what it takes. They do not know the sacrifice to becoming really influential. And about 2 weeks ago, we had a guest coming to share on how you can speak for influence, impact, and income. And today I have an amazing friend. We became friends in 2020. You could imagine inside COVID, I became friends with this person. So while a lot of people were worried about COVID, that you were covering your nose and you were running away from strangers, we became connected, and we connected while she was far away in China. All right. So she's an educator. She is a lecturer in the University of Port Harcourt. She is the founder of Grandmaster Academy and also an international academic coach. And she has done phenomenal work in the place of helping people become inspired in the place of academics, challenging them to do better as undergraduate and postgraduate students, teaching them the secret of productivity and how they can keep changing their lives. And she is an amazing author. And as a couple of the things that we'll begin to do, she will share a couple of her books that can really help you. And she would guide you on the things that have given her the privilege as a researcher in Nigeria who have also bagged a doctoral degree in China, and had the privilege to go on a mobility sponsorship in Estonia. She would guide on all of these privileges. And I can tell you that tonight will be filled with so much value. Be ready with your questions, be ready with the things you got to share, and then be set to transform your life in no small way. And tonight, we will be learning the concept on how you can advance your influence through sponsored academic opportunities with the phenomenal, the double doctor, Chioma Joy Okonkwo. You're welcome, Dr. Chioma Joy Okonkwo. It's
Thank
nice to
you.
have you.
Thank you. What an intro. I was just waiting for, like, looking around to see who is being called up. Thank you so much, Mr. Biodu. It's such a pleasure to be here. Growth School. I'm so happy and grateful for what you're doing. You don't know, like, how far reaching what you're doing, the sacrifices. This is 9 p.m. Nigerian time, and You've had a busy, long day, and you're here just pouring out yourself, pouring out yourself. So thank you. I really celebrate you. And thank you also for this opportunity to come on to share. Yes, I'm so grateful. So it's such a pleasure to be able to share my insight on advancing influence through sponsored academic opportunities. And I'm sure it will be a wonderful time for every one of us here. So um, just give me the go ahead, then I can take it off from there.
All right, starting from this, what are some of the things about you that I did not mention in my introduction? I know there's so much about you, and maybe I've not told you this. I've gone to the extent of actually searching you out on Google Scholar. Yeah, I think I did on Google Scholar, and then there is
Really?
global scientific remark that is usually done for people on campus. Recently, I think that was last week. I was actually
Mm.
searching out and seeing how you were doing in terms of ranking in the University of Port Harcourt. So, tell us a couple of other things that we do not know about you.
Okay, other things about me you did not mention they include my research work. I'm an environmental scientist, and I work on organic pollution when it comes to, especially with respect to petroleum contamination in soil, water, and air. So that's part of my research work. I also do like risk assessment, human health risk assessment, and environmental risk assessment as well. So those are part of the things I do. Then aside, when I'm not in the lab or in the classroom, I'm very passionate about empowering tertiary students, especially to thrive in the university. It's one thing to like have academic skills, but a number of students are lacking in successful student habits. So that is where like a lot of students fall short. They do not really have the habits that helps them to thrive in school. So that is a gap I'm looking to cover in the by setting up the Grandmaster Academy to where tertiary students have the necessary skills, the knowledge, the expertise they need to be able to not only just merely survive in the university, but also thrive. So in addition with that, I'm also a college readiness consultant because a number of students just come into the system, like the university system, expecting to just smash it. But I've been in the system long enough to know that their expectations most times reality defies it. So I'm also a college readiness consultant in that I prepare people to come into the university to thrive in the university, to do well and enjoy their school life. Yes. So that those are some of the things I do that wasn't captured, but the introduction was very concise as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so, so much. Now to the subject of advancing your influence. Now, when it comes to advancing your influence, there is probably one young person who is sitting down and saying, I can just blow, I can just come out and become relevant. Like, let me just have the gift. If I'm just talented and I can start going for shows, I can make it and become
Mm,
really great. In fact, people in, let me say, Africa, because right now I'm being careful of using the word third world because some people don't
mm,
understand that concept a lot of the time. So a lot of people in Africa believe I just need to be talented, then I will blow. I just need to be
mm,
talented, then let me go on Twitter and do all of those things, then I will make it. And right now we have lots of
mm.
people who are saying dish academics, dish all of those things. I can just make it and do all of this. Now, as someone who has been in the space of coaching people with the academics, a lot of people are now refining their thoughts, refining their lives. What can you say about this concept? Does academics have a place in growing your influence? And if it does, how does it do so?
Okay. Brilliant question. Now, the question, look at the statistics. How many people have, in your own terms, blown through that means? Talent is not enough. Yes, it's nice to be talented. It's great to be talented and all, but talent is not enough. There's place for refinement of your giftings and talents, whatever you have, and that is what education helps you to achieve. I'm when I talk about education now, I'm not only restricting it to the traditional education within the four walls of the classroom. there's need for enlightenment, personal development. It's very important. Now, imagine, let me give you an instance. You have the talent as a musician. Yes, you can sing and all. And you're given a contract to sign. You're not literate and you don't know the terms of that contract. In your excitement, you just went to sign up something that makes you, at the end, is like you're indebted to the label because you don't really have like understanding of basic contracts. So you see that that knowledge, it's not a waste. So education really has a part to play, especially when you want to advance your influence. It sort of it affects the way it influences the way you do things. And when you narrow it back down to what is influence, it's being able to shape the opinions, the beliefs, the actions of others. How can you really do that if yourself you're not really enlightened? Fine, you're talented, yes, and so there are 1,001 talented people out there. What makes you different? So that is what education will do, and academic opportunities are a good way to achieve this for you.
Wow,
Mr. Biodi, are you still
amazing.
there?
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Like I was listening to that, and you are making me remember someone in my head now. There's someone that picture really fits right now. And lots of people are beginning to make such people role models and trying to believe that's the way to go. And you see a lot of them featuring in the video of the song they wrote, and they are not aware that's what they are doing.
And they're not aware. So it can be so painful, and the consequences are quite costly when you go into that space ignorant, like, oh, I'm so talented and that's all. It's a very naive way to look at life, and such people, you will be exploited, you'll be taken advantage of because of maybe you didn't, something as simple as like looking at the contract before you sign it. So
Yeah,
education really plays
you're very
a big
correct.
role.
Very
It
correct. Now,
plays a big role.
as an educator in Africa, as an educator in
Mm.
Nigeria, and you
Yeah.
had the ability to deal with students, you had the ability to deal with different situations. I know you are
Mm.
aware of how the academic system in Nigeria is like. Like it takes a lot of grace. You know, at a point I had
Mm.
to be telling my student that I think Nigeria students should be paid for studying in Nigeria because you have to go through things that your mates do not go through. And there's someone
Yeah.
right there who is saying, with all of this system, I'm already in it as an undergraduate student. What would be
Mm.
your counsel for such individual? And yet they are aware that they need to study, they need to learn, they need to get to a certain peak in the academic career for them to become really influential, to access certain doors, to be able to become great in all that they have to do. What will be your role for them? Now that's a
Mm.
part, and this is also coming second to that question. There's someone
Mm.
right now who has finished in the Nigeria academic system and right now
Mm.
believes I think I need to get an additional degree. I need to get something more. But they are thinking in their head, Nigeria. Oh, Nigeria, Nigeria. What will be your counsel for such people? What will you have to say to this?
Okay, first question for the undergraduate. Um, I understand the struggles. Yes, there are lapses, there are gaps in our system, but my counsel would be you have to take ownership for your learning experience. You have to take ownership because the future of work now, you're not going to be like competing in quotes with just people from your country. You're going to be competing with people from other parts of the world who have had like maybe different models of education. And the good thing is that we are living in a time of digital access. So my counsel will be, do not limit yourself. Expose yourself as much as you can. You can leverage on courses that are available online. Don't limit yourself to what is like solely offered in your university or your department. Expand yourself. From now, okay, like artificial intelligence is like the big thing now. These are things to begin to learn about them. You can take a course online. You can follow those who like have already developed expertise in this area. Follow them and learn from them, glean from their wealth of experience. So that's the first advice to that undergraduate. Take ownership of your learning experience. Do not be discouraged. Surround yourself. Take time to invest in building a solid support system that would inspire you to rise to your better self. Okay, and not just limit yourself with what is happening in the current systems. Okay, that's for the undergraduate student. Then for the postgraduate student, there's a place for time and season. I believe strongly as a believer that there's that place of times and season. I didn't get to travel outside the country until it was my PhD for my PhD. So I did my second degrees in Nigeria. But one thing I always told myself was that regardless of where I'm doing it, I'm going to expose myself to the best of what I can. So if there's a resource online, I'm reaching out for it. If there's a virtual training or something, I'm reaching out for it. I'm not going to let my present environment limit me. Like I have a vision of where I'm going to. I'm not going to just let what is happening now um, limit me. So when I tried for during the master's time, fine, I wanted to do it outside the country, but I was also looking at where I was at that time. I was working, and I was like, okay, what? Since I've not gotten the overseas scholarship. What do I do now? I can begin a program here, and I started a program here, which wasn't a bad idea. I was able to go through with that program. I gave it my best. Like I was working part time, and I still had to give my best to that program. And by God's grace, I met like with a perfect CGPA at the end. And that one now made up some. So when I was going for the third degree, it now came in handy. Like, as part of it made me like a strong candidate when I presented that. I could have been discouraged that, oh, I've applied for the scholarship, I didn't get it. No, don't be discouraged. Do the best with what you have available and trusting God that He will make a way for you. Okay, so that's the
Wow.
advice to the one who is at the postgraduate level. Don't be discouraged. Don't be
This
discouraged.
is really phenomenal. Like I love that answer. Like some people right now, they are caged because they are saying, "Oh, if it does not come abroad or no school again, if the abroad does not
Mm-hmm.
come, I will just stay until it comes, even if you are there 5 years."
Yeah.
And you seem not to
Yeah.
know that you will still remain at
Time
the
is
same
going.
position when years
Time is
comes again,
going.
which is very,
Yeah.
very important. Thank you
Time is going.
for really
Yeah.
sharing this. And I know a lot of people did not know this, that in the process of your studying, taking your postgraduate program, you were married. At that
Yeah.
instance, you had to be taking care of a baby. How was that experience for you? Because I know there are a lot of people right now that believe they are challenged, that they don't know what you're through, and yet you have the ability to have two doctoral degrees, one in China and one in Nigeria. Yet you were a mother, yet you were a lecturer, yet you needed to fix in things around your husband. What was that experience for you, and what can
Wow.
people learn from this?
Yeah.
I know you
It's
didn't
a
expect
time.
this. I know you didn't expect this, but
No, but
I
it's
want,
okay.
I want my audience to understand that nothing great comes really easy, and they must
Yeah.
be willing to break through it, irrespective of the challenges. Before we go
Yeah.
into many other things, thank you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. When I look at the whole thing, it's like it's been surreal for me. When you're going through something and finally when you get to that finish line and you have to turn back and say, am I the one at this line? It was a very busy, hectic, challenging period of my life. There were times where I was like asking myself, do I really need to go and push through with these two programs? Like, am I not stressing myself? But one of the things that God taught me in that season of my life was the importance of support systems. I share this everywhere I go. God is my biggest support system. And next to that is the people He has strategically positioned in my life to support me to bet His purposes in my life. So I had to lean heavily on my support system, which is something I teach tertiary students. Like, you don't have to do school all alone. You don't have to be like this superwoman, superman, and all that. You have support system. Even if you don't have, you can learn how to build. It's like a core competence of mine that I teach people how to build support systems I can leverage. Right, that time, like you rightly pointed out, I'm still a mom. I had a husband, I have a family. There were times that it required communication to communicate that at this point, I'm going to be leaning heavily on my school responsibility and less on my family responsibility. And because I've been blessed with a supportive partner who understood that season, it was a temporal season, but he understood the sacrifices that needed to be made for us to just achieve that goal. He was on board with it. He was on board with it. That is something that was like, it's very important, like having the support of your support system. For me, it's my husband, and my mom at a point had to step in because there were times where obviously I couldn't be with my daughter. So my mom had to step in to look after my daughter while I was like in the intense during at the heat of the research work, when I had to spend like long hours at the lab. I wouldn't be available for her. So my mom had to care for my daughter. Now, these were all relationships that I had built before that time. It's something you have to invest in. It's a two-way street. It's not that, oh, I'm just going for my master's, I'm going for my program, take care of this, take care of that. If the relationship is not there, it's like a bridge. If you've not built, people say, we will cross that bridge when we get to it. If you don't build that bridge, when you go there, you're just going to see woods on the floor. Nothing to cross. Nothing to cross. So these are relationships that I've been able to build over time. And when it came to that period of my life where I really needed their support, I could lean in on them because I had poured into those relationships and they could be there for me as well. Okay. Yes, I agree with you, Hu, that having a good support system is key, vital to achieving all this. So that's one.
I love
that that's
I love that. Yes, I love that. That's so essential. So there are times when you need to build certain systems that makes it easy for you to concentrate part time
mm,
when you need to make certain
yeah.
progress academically. So thank you so much for pointing out that. Now, someone to part of the big part of this particular growth school episode, there is someone right now who is saying, "Oh, you people talked about sponsored, sponsored, sponsored." I know you have enjoyed lots of sponsored academic opportunities. Can you tell us about them,
Mm.
and why should anyone really seek for sponsored academic opportunities? Now, someone is in Africa, why not say, at least I'm okay? Why not just, I can move on, yeah, do what I want to do? So, why should people
Yeah.
really crave for these sponsored academic opportunities? Are there a lot of advantages in it? Is it just an hype word, or these things are real? If they are real, what are the benefits in it?
Okay. So first things, let's establish a shared understanding of what sponsored academic opportunities are. So a sponsored academic opportunity, I noted here that it refers to like funding or support that is given by an organization or an institution, or even sometimes an individual can give this funding or support to a scholar, to a student for academic research, academic study, and other related events in that line. Okay, so that's what like academic sponsored opportunities are. They are very real. I'm a beneficiary to a number of opportunities that way. They are so important because it can take the stress off. I've tested both sides. I've experienced like a self-sponsored program and academic sponsored program. I can tell you that the difference is clear. You mentioned that I have 2 PhD. Yes, by the grace of God, I do. One of the programs was self-sponsored, and I knew the financial commitment on my own part because I had to spend for each research, for each phase of the work, for the school fees. You're thinking of like the academic aspect, and you're thinking of your financial obligations. So that's one thing sponsored academic opportunities can do for you, in that it can take away that pressure, that financial pressure, so you can concentrate on the academic work itself. So there are some academic, and these sponsored academic opportunities can take different forms. Now, if I'm to ask the audience now, give me examples of sponsored academic opportunities you know? Just share in the chat. Let me know. So examples of sponsored academic opportunities that you've heard about. The common one that you've heard. I know the two that will be the common answers that you're going to give now, but I just want to see them. Okay, so the common one that most Nigerians, most Africans are aware of when you just hear sponsored academic opportunities. In fact, there's even one word that comes to your mind. Does anyone care to share in the comments? Good. Scholarships, yes. So this is like the go-to. But what if I told you that beyond scholarships, there are like several other, yes, Emmanuel scholarships. Yes, that's the popular one. Almost everyone knows about this. Yes. But aside scholarships, do you know that there are other sponsored academic opportunities? Okay. Now we have fellowships. Now, fellowships are like scholarships, but mostly they are awarded to postgraduate students. That's you're done with undergraduates at the postgraduate level. Now, fellowship is being given to study, like it may be for a particular subject study, for a particular research, or even a particular activity. Then, aside from fellowships, we have awards. This may be given in recognition for a particular work that a scholar or someone has done in a particular field. Then we have international visits or exchange, international travel visits or exchange. This is for instance, do you know that there are organizations that give opportunities for students from Africa to come over to Europe or to come over to Asia on exchange? There are opportunities like that, and a number of people are not aware of this. Then we have summer schools. I'm aware that American Society for Chemistry, they have this summer school they organize yearly, and student members of that organization can apply. And if you're selected, you can travel for that opportunity, fully sponsored. Everything will be taken care of. I am a beneficiary of the mobility visit to Europe. That's as a PhD scholar, I got an opportunity to travel to Estonia, fully sponsored. Everything was taken care of. It was more like an exchange where I could go from my university in China and travel to Europe for a brief period of time. That exchange can be for up to 1 year, but you need to have a host. This is just one example. Then we now have virtual internships. This is like a big deal now. Reputable organizations like Bank of America, some of JP Morgan, and some of these other big companies used to offer. There are times in the year where they call for like virtual internship. You can be in Nigeria, but you get the experience of working outside the country if you are accepted as an intern. So these are like opportunities that you can begin to explore aside from maybe the traditional scholarship that everyone knows about. So these are just examples. And like I highlighted earlier, it's so beneficial. One of the things it will do for you, aside from taking away the financial pressure, exposure. And exposure is so key to advancing your influence. You know, there's something about going outside your normal environment where you've been exposed, and you're going to see the way other people do things. You're being exposed to international best practices. You can never be the same person. I tell you that, no two ways about it. There's something it will do. Your mindset is going to change. Your worldview is going to change. And most often than not, you come out better for that experience. So that is like, those are the importance of this sponsored academic opportunities, and everyone should be interested in it. Okay. The different forms.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. So now, while you were speaking, someone someone sent a message to me. Like, she was like, she was almost giving up. I think she's on a PhD program and she was almost giving up. She said with what you just
Mm.
said that she's encouraged. That's amazing. So you
Oh,
don't know how much
I'm
of the
so
things you're
grateful.
saying is seem to be
Yeah,
inspiring people.
I'm so grateful. Yeah.
This is so amazing. So beyond
It's a
just
pleasure to
scholarship,
do that.
beyond
Mm.
scholarships, there are fellowships, there
Mm-hmm.
are grants, there are opportunities,
Mm.
mobility opportunities. I remember that I got
Yes.
my first opportunity to travel to the US through a community, an organization, the ACM Future
Mm-hmm.
of Computing Academy. You say they were willing to pay, they paid for the visa stuff, they paid for everything. Though eventually all of the DT era, the Republican era, just
Mm.
did not allow. So they didn't give
Wow.
the three of us
Allow
from
you.
Nigeria. They didn't give us our
Wow.
visas then,
Sorry
but they were
about that.
willing to sponsor. That would have been an opportunity if it
To
was in
sponsor,
democratic era.
to
So
travel.
there are a
Yeah.
lot of there are lots of it, and people do not know the privilege of exposure. There are a lot of privileges in exposure.
Exposure.
Like the people I met in that community, I would not have met them if not for that privilege.
Mm.
Okay, now someone is saying,
Mm.
Dr. Okonkwo, you have gotten scholarship, you have traveled, you have gone to Europe. Now, tell us what's the process to achieving this? Okay, I'm ignorant of what it takes. I don't even know how to go about it. I've
Mm.
attended a lot of virtual
Mm.
events, virtual session. Everything they were saying is just like they are just saying grammar, and the things are not so clear. What's the process with which I
Yeah.
can go through
Yeah.
getting sponsored opportunities? Why? Because I want
Oh,
to be influential. I don't want to be local. I don't want to go out and they say, "Where
look.
did you study? Oh, your degree in Nigeria? Ah, sit down there." And then they see one young boy that because he just got one degree from the University USA, they say, "Ah, no, Naim, Naim, no, you that came from Nigeria, we can't give you. This one is widely traveled. This one got a scholarship.
Mm.
This one did that." So lead us through the process. How can we go through this? Someone was even saying, really?
Yeah.
Yes, so really, oh, it's more than scholarship, my brother. It's more than scholarship. So guide us through the process. We
Yeah.
will really want to learn.
So,
What are the best routes? We don't want to be scammed. A lot of
um,
people have been scammed. They've sent their money to people expecting they will do it for them. And at the end of
sure.
the day, stories are touched.
At the end of the
And some of
day,
those people, their WhatsApp number was going at the beginning of the discussion. But immediately they paid, they they end up
they lost
eating up.
money.
They just blocked them
Yeah.
immediately, and then that's how the money went. So we
And
want to
that's how
learn
the
the
end.
process. What's the best way to go through it?
Okay, so first things, let's talk about eligibility criteria for this sponsored academic opportunities. So generally, when there's an opportunity call, the funders usually set out an eligibility criteria, sort of like a screening parameter. So the common one, first one is academic performance. So this may be in form of like grade point average. If you're in the university, when you're done, your GPA, grade point average, or a standardized test score, maybe like the SAT or GRE. That's graduate required examination or SAT. No, this is common with in the US. Okay, now that is why you have to prioritize good grades, no matter, regardless of what people are saying. If you are in school now, you're already studying in Nigeria, do your best, come out with good grades. It will really help to strengthen your application, make you a strong candidate. Okay. Now the next thing is field of studies. There are certain scholarships or fellowship award grants that are specific for a particular field of study. For instance, I got a particular scholarship that was tailored for the petroleum industry. Okay, so there are certain scholarships that like the criteria is that you're applying for a particular field of study, maybe sciences, maybe engineering, maybe arts, maybe history or something. There are some eligibility criteria, so you have to take note of that. Then the next is citizenship or residency. There are some certain scholarship when you are applying, you've seen everything. Oh, I qualify, I qualify. But when it gets to citizenship, they say it's for people from North Africa. You know that one have removed you from the eligibility list. So citizenship or residency, there are some scholarships that will need you to prove like financial need, that like you really need financial assistance, most of them. Then experience. This is one area that some people ignore. This is one area some people ignore. They just maybe focus solely on grades, but there are certain scholarships that prioritize experience. Maybe you've done some form of community service, you've done a form of social work. They want to know that, not aside from grades, you've had like leadership experience. Maybe in your group, you were head of like debate team or something. Now, this is the time for you to start building your portfolio that you want to submit. Don't wait until you get to that point where you want to apply before you now start building. If you're an undergraduate and you know you're planning that for my postgraduate, I want to school outside the country, start building your portfolio now. Experience, join clubs. And I know there's an entrepreneurship club. I'm trying to remember the name. Is it Enactus now? That is a very good. That's if you're going towards the business and the entrepreneurial line or field. That is something to consider. Leadership experience, community service, join groups and serve. These are things that will strengthen your application. Then now, let me now talk about how to identify and assess the sponsored academic opportunities. There are a lot of scammers, no doubt about that. Okay. Now, the first one is that you'll be willing to explore. And where to explore? Number one, online databases. Do you know that they are credible websites? That the only thing they do is to share information on scholarship opportunities, fellowship opportunities, international student exchange opportunities. In fact, I was sharing with Mr. Abiodun the travel opportunity, that exchange opportunity I got to travel to Estonia. I got it from one of those online databases. I subscribed to them, and every Wednesday and Friday, they send me opportunities to my email. They send me opportunities to my email, and there are several of them. There are several databases. Like that is the only thing they do. You go to their site, it's credible, they vetted, they get, they collate information, opportunity information from different sources. And instead of you now scouting different, you just go there and everything is there. And you can even filter your search. Let's say you're interested in so kind of scholarship. You filter it there, you put it, and if they have it, they bring it out in as a list. You check through. That's one. Second one is professional societies. Now, there are organizations that offer opportunities, or they give you information on how to assess such opportunities. Like for Ross in the sciences, there are organizations like maybe Royal Society of Chemistry. I belong to one, Society of Environmental Toxicology and Chemistry. There are a number of, so the issue now is, the assignment I'm giving you now is to go and find out what are those professional societies in your field of study. Find out now and see how you can join as a student member. Most student membership, the fees, if they have any, is usually small. And sometimes if you have difficulty in paying for the fee, you can even apply and write for a waiver that you are from so country and you don't have the money, but you really desire to join this community and this society. And most times you would be granted opportunity to join the society. So that's one good way. I have a friend, Dr. Ofyong, has traveled to more than 5 countries now by virtue of the professional societies he belonged to. He has been to US, he has been to Paris, he has been to Tanzania. By virtue of this, and as you join this community, try and be a valuable member, or just you have to be contributing. Don't go there with a user mentality that, oh, I just want to give me grants, give me scholarship, let me enjoy. No, be willing to communicate value. The moment you enter there, the moment you join, try your best to contribute value. Yes. And the next one is institutional resources. This is a hidden gem. Do you know that most likely your university has an international student center? in my university, it's called like Exchange and Linkage Center. Now, this institutional, this department or unit in school, what they do, most opportunities come to their desk. And because maybe there are some lapses in communication, this information may not really get to the students. So it lies on you. Now I'm giving you an assignment. Go and find out where is your own in your school, your institution, where is it located? Go there, befriend the admin there, and ask them if there's any opportunity, that if there's a call or opportunity available. Most times they may give you the folder, you will check through and see. It's an opportunity for you to assess opportunities that are not wildly advertised. And you know one thing about such opportunities, because they are not widely advertised, the chances of you getting them is very high. It's very high. I can assure you, most public tertiary institutions, they have one. So you have to go and look for it and go there and ask them what is available for students. You can check through. And I assure you, you would find something that maybe you are eligible for. It's just there on the desk today, most likely. So these are ways. Then I noted the fourth one. A fourth one is through networking. I know on this growth school, Mr. Abiodun has been talking about strategic networking, how to relate, build strategic relationships. Networking, this is how you get first-hand information about opportunities. There was something that happened when I was in Estonia. My host then at a point, she had a student and she said, oh, my PhD student at a point, she didn't complete the program, she just withdrew. I'm going to need another student, someone who is hardworking and who is knowledgeable about like environmental sciences. I was like, I know someone, and I was able to recommend someone to her. Now, me and this person, we've been networking. So on the strength of our relationship, I was able to recommend him for another opportunity. So first-hand opportunity. That opportunity may have not been posted anywhere else. It's just like, because I was in the room, I could speak for him. That's what networking can do for you too, as well. So you get access to first-hand information that you will not find maybe elsewhere. All right. So the assignment I'm giving everyone now who is listening as a student, who are those key researchers in your field of study? Take time now, note 10 of them. Go and follow them on LinkedIn, follow them on Twitter, and follow them on TikTok. It will surprise you. A number of academics are now beginning to take TikTok seriously. So it's a good place to find some of them and begin to establish relationship with them. Engage meaningfully on their posts. Not if they write something nice one or whatever, just one killer. Think carefully and respond. That way, you would be one. I assure you, they would notice. They will notice. By the time you do it once, twice, thrice, and you build that relationships. That's a way to network. And look for also the societies, the professional societies in your field. Follow them on social media. Follow them. Go to their website. That is another way to find out these opportunities. So when there's first-hand opportunity, you can pick. And because they know you, you are like you're now visible. When you apply, it's not like, oh, this stranger from nowhere. No, they know you. Someone can vouch for you, like, oh, you've been interacting. You are a valuable member of the community. So these are some of the ways that you can identify and assess this sponsored academic opportunities.
Wow. Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. So that's the process, everyone, and you can access these opportunities without stress. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to you don't have to drag yourself. You don't have to go through a lot of the problems. Don't go and borrow exorbitant loans because you want to travel. You don't need to tell lies. Guys, you don't need to tell lies. It's not important. You know, today I'm on a group where we have prospective individuals who want to go for their postgraduate study in the United States. And I saw this shocking message on the group today where someone, I think, while trying to seek for undergraduate opportunity abroad. The agent told a lie, okay, maybe told a lie, like presented a false bank statement. The guy have even forgotten, eventually came back to do the undergraduate program. Now he's going for postgraduate program, already got funding, got all the opportunities. On getting there, he went for the first interview. He came back home. He was surprised. They called him back for a second interview. And eventually they saw all the manipulations that happened in the first interview he was
Wow.
not aware of. And they told this guy that he's banned from entering the United States. Funny enough,
Wow.
just for a mistake that was made on his behalf. So these are things you have to be
Mm,
very cautious about. You have to be careful.
very true.
You must follow the due process. Don't manipulate your way.
Mm,
You know, you can do some
mm,
manipulation in some countries in Africa and get away with it, but those countries don't joke. They don't joke with
yeah.
manipulating your way
They
through.
do their
Go through the
due
right process.
diligence. Yes, go
So
through the right process. And
someone
I
is
want to
asking,
also
yeah, go on, go on.
um
I will bring that up later.
I wanted to also add like some tips for like when you are applying for sponsored academic opportunities. You know, I talked about how to identify and assess. So some useful tips to bear in mind when applying. The first one, read the application instruction carefully. That is where like a number of people miss it. Like it just like at that get go, they disqualify. When they say submit these types of documents, if you don't, you have like disqualified yourself even from the get-go. It may take maybe mercy to get you in, but most often than not, please read the instructions carefully. Take out time. Sometimes what I do is even to print it out and have the hard copy before me and carefully tick each one. I have, let's say they ask for this document. Do I have it? Yes, I tick it. I go that as far as that to just be sure that you do your due diligence. Okay. Then the next is research the funders. This is something that would help you a lot. Remember that these people, they are spending money to achieve a purpose. Learn about their mission, their values, and now you will now align your statement, your letter of intent or statement of purpose, the one they call SOP, in line with that purpose. It's just like an interview. They are looking for a particular person. Now, I try to do like flip, as if I'm the one interviewing me now. What qualities will I be looking out for? In my mind, I try to now flip it that, okay, now I'm the funder. With the way I've written this, my SOP, my statement of purpose, will I choose me? Will I select me? And if not, what are the gaps? What are those things I could add to strengthen my application? So these are things to do. Okay. Then highlight your relevant experience and skills. You have to craft in storytelling too is very powerful. I didn't say, okay, because of storytelling, you start telling stories that are irrelevant to the distance. No, every story is to highlight an experience or skill that is in line with what they are looking for, what the funders, those people who floated that opportunity, what they are looking for. Then the next is also, like I've also mentioned, this customize your statement of purpose to align with what the funders of that opportunity is, what they are interested in. Then strong references, provide strong references. Most times they are going to ask you to bring referees. So this is a good time to start the relationship between you and your potential referees. You're bringing academic referees most times. It may be your supervisor, it may be your head of department, or a lecturer of maybe high ranking in your department. So this is a good time to start servicing that relationship now, so that when you will demand or when you are going to ask for a reference letter, they will go out of their way to write a very strong reference letter for you. So these are just some tips I thought it wise to mention when
Yeah,
considering
those are
sponsored
very, very
academic
essential things.
opportunities. Hmm.
Yeah, awesome. Those are very, very essential things. I agree with you. And they are really crucial. So for those of you that you have said, I will not talk to my supervisor again.
Hmm.
I'm just waiting to graduate. Immediately I leave this school, I will not
I
talk
won't
to
talk
that
to
man
him.
again.
You will
To
still
be
need
funny,
him.
the day you will send requests for referee, and the man will do like he did not even know you. Or you will send it and you will see someone who taught you and supervised your project does not even know that you are the one. So
You are
it's
the
that
one.
funny.
So please,
That funny.
that
I know I'm
relationship.
saying this, maybe this may sound like because I'm saying the academia and I still have a couple of things to do with these people. But for you who may not be coming back into the academia or something, you must be intentional about it. You
Mm.
must be intentional. For no reason, just reach out to them and say, ah, sir, I said I should reach out to you today and ask how
Yeah.
the family is doing. For no
Mm.
reason.
But no,
Christmas break, sir. I
yes,
think you
Christmas break. Send
you
them a
received this
message. Yeah,
amazing. Send them a message, yo, sir.
a
Receive this my
message.
small time,
Even new
so that
month.
the
This we
day,
do.
your request will come, you will not be a stranger.
Yeah, you will not be a stranger. True. And you will
So
not
these are
start
very
running helter skelter looking for reference or recommendation. So these are relationships you want to begin to service those relationships now. I'm using that word loosely. So make sure that you're in good standing with them. You're in good
yeah.
standing. So when
This
it's
is
time for that,
very
you can easily
very
get,
important.
yes, mm,
Yeah, do your
can
work.
easily
Don't
get
just
your
say I will pray.
recommendation.
Miracle will happen. Favor will come. Walk and pray.
Yeah,
Don't just pray and be going
walk
out
and
as
pray.
skater and then
Mm.
you go to raise up your passport at one program and say it's one something. No, knowledge is power. Do your work. While you are praying,
See
do the
you.
work. That's why you see people
Yeah.
say everything that they don't want me to use this passport. I bind them. Well done. Keep binding. Do the work. While you are praying, do the
Yeah.
work also. Emmanuel Oketa
Yeah.
is trying to ask, please, what did you say the
Mm.
name of that opportunity is again, man? The one where we have to go to our school branch and ask them if there's any opportunity. That is not widely advertised. Okay, it's like you said, there's a
Okay,
unit in
okay,
the
I get the
school.
point. Most schools have this exchange and linkage center. The name may vary from university to university, but the point is, it's this place where students can go and get information about like opportunities, like scholarship, exchange, and the like. So it may be maybe research and development. There may be a name for it. I can only give you the one for my institution, which is Exchange and Linkage Center. So it's for you to ask. You can even go to maybe your student affairs and try to find out something like that. I know the school would have like a variation of that thing. And because you're now interested, I assure you, you would find it. You can maybe ask even your HOD, someone in your department to like refer you to the right source. You would find it. So the name may vary. The name may vary, but the work still is similar. Okay. For my school, it's exchange and linkage. Exchange and linkage center. Okay. So Emmanuel, please, maybe you could ask whether there's an exchange and linkage center in your own institution. And if there's not, okay, is there something like that so you can be able to go there and find out that information? Okay.
Amazing. Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah, I remember that there's a student in my current institution who had the ability to go to Germany through such kind of opportunity. So, like, she traveled to Germany, had a couple of times, met with different individuals based on
Wow.
such opportunity. So, Emmanuel here is also asking that are there fellowships, international exchanges, and all available for undergraduates or perhaps for undergraduate researchers?
Yes, there are opportunities like that. That is why I said you have to go there and ask. There are like opportunities for bench work research where a student can travel to another part of the country to go and do research work on like just more like the project aspect. It's specific. It depends on the call for that opportunity. And one way to get that is if you belong to a professional society in your field, most times they used to have like a number of programs for students. And let's say if your project work aligns with that, you can apply to the professor there that this, or you want to come and do research. This is something that an academic coach can work with you to tailor something that is suitable for you. Okay, Emmanuel. All right. So for now, the general something I can give you, those 3 assignments I gave you, try and do them. Try and find out the researchers in your field, follow them. And when you begin to discuss with them, you will learn about what they are working on. And when you see that is in line with what your work in your your own field, you can even write him to say that I'm in my 4th year, I'm a student of this, I'm a member of this, and right now I'm interested in working in this, but we don't really have such facilities here. Would you be willing to grant to invite me to your lab to come and do this? If that particular researcher has a grant, he can choose to like invite you from that grant. There may be like a provision for me to support students in that my grant. But if you don't ask him, you may not know. Okay, so this is vary from on case by case basis. Yes, there are opportunities like that. Yes, for undergraduates, Emmanuel, there are opportunities like that.
Yeah, this is so important. This is so important. I'll tell you something I just saw on Google outside here now. It's not something I want to bring up, like what people are searching about you, Dr. Okonkwo. All right, so that's really, really amazing. And I think this is very, very critical. Now, from some of the things you have said, while I'm asking this question, if you have questions for Dr. Okonkwo, please do well to drop in the chat and we'll ask very quickly because we need to wrap up this program. Remember, she's a mother and we never can tell the husband may be waiting. All right, so I guess there are skills that are essential for anyone who wants to get sponsored academic opportunities. And from some of the things you have said, and which I want you to add up to, it's very important to understand the skill on how to compose professional emails. In fact, some people should not send emails like they are chatting with their friends or they are writing formal letters. There's intelligence, there's a strategy, there's the way to communicate via emails. And I know there are many other things, and maybe you want to speak on this. Like all of these things you have said, there's a way when you are communicating with a professor abroad, it's not the same way you are talking to your teacher in secondary school. There is that intelligence.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, what are some of these skills that people should have and they should begin to build as they choose to get sponsored academic opportunities?
Okay. Um, some of those skills you need like good communication skills, and within that, email etiquette this is a good time to begin to learn about email etiquette. You at this point in your life, you should learn how to construct a proper email. Etiquette when you meet, how to draft a cold email. A cold email is like I don't know you, but this is the first time I'm communicating you. So I'm not going to come and speak as though we are long time like paddies. No, there is an etiquette on how to reach out to people at the first time. One of the things you do is to introduce yourself. That person doesn't know you. You have to introduce yourself, or like this one, some people just say hi or hello and leave it at that. No, you have to like introduce yourself. Hello, I am this, or dear professor. Try and find out their titles. Dear Professor XYZ, I am this, and I am writing to. Learn formal communications. So these are things, all these things now, I'll just wrap them under communication skills and global competence. The way we do things in our own side, that's no. You have to begin to learn what is the international best practices when you're communicating with someone else. Are there cultural nuances that I have to consider? For instance, now let's say he grants you a call and you're on this call. There are places where looking at the person, like maybe from coming from Africa now, maybe we've been groomed or raised to say, oh, looking at your elders like eyeball to eyeball is a sign of disrespect. But this person may be seeing it like a sign of timidity. Like he's talking to you, he's expecting for me to like maintain reasonable eye contact, and I'm doing my eyes like this because of this is like how I've been. So you begin to expose yourself to best practices, and there's so much information online on these things. So proper communication skills, proper, when I talk about communication skills, I'm talking about writing skills, um, verbal speaking skills as well, very important. Knowing how to comport yourself when you're making, especially when you're making requests. These are skills that will be very vital. Then with time, you can add to that basic research skills, especially maybe if you're thinking of going for PhD program. There are some basic levels of competence that you're expected to have at that level. Maybe at master's level, they may overlook, but at PhD level, you should be able to write an essay. You should be able to discuss things like intelligent, like discuss something intelligently. Okay, you can communicate, like you can pass an argument on something intelligently. These are basic skills that one can build, and it's not a no-brainer. These are things you can learn. You can learn them easily online. Information is available. So you begin to equip yourself with these skills, communication skills, global competence, how I relate with people who may be from different cultures or different worlds from me. You can easily relate with them. So those are some of the skills you need. Someone who is thinking of applying for scholarship needs to set yourself apart as a strong candidate. Then another thing I will add
Amazing.
is you need
Mm.
a strong online presence. Not just strong, positive. I'm not talking about all that you have thousands of followers online. No, a positive online presence. I've seen people lose scholarship because of their digital footprint. So you that is thinking of going out, I know this is election period, you're angry, you're going online, you're ranting, you're cursing, all those things are leaving a trail. Tomorrow you may get an opportunity and they decide to go and do like a digital audit on you, and all they are seeing is where you're cursing people. I'll give a specific example. A lady got a fellowship or something like a scholarship or fellowship from NASA. You know how how prestigious NASA is. So when she was announcing it to online, she used explicit language, like she was cursing and just like maybe she was excited, but the way she wrote it. So someone came to her comment section and corrected her. I was like, young lady, this is not right. Like this organization that gave you this scholarship is a professional body. You shouldn't be like associating them with this kind of language. And she cursed the woman. She was like, she went all out, was like, who are you to tell me what to say, blah, blah, blah. She didn't know that that woman is part of that organization. Do you know that that scholarship was withdrawn from her? They withdrew the scholarship. They withdrew the scholarship. So it's so important. Please take note of your digital footprint, what you're doing online. See, if you're considering these sponsored academic opportunities, take out time, go and sanitize your timeline, all your social media profiles, because they can just, that is like the new CV. They can just say, okay, what is as this person did? This person wants to bring into our research group or our university. Let's just even go and see what she has been doing online or he has been doing online, and they go to your page and they are seeing wonders there. So positive online presence too, very important, very important. If you must engage with people online, you can do that in a civil manner. You can do that in a civil manner. So that's what I wanted to add to those skills to have.
Amazing. This is so deep, and I wish a lot of people can get that. Okay, while you were speaking, I displayed for many of you want to reach out to Dr. Chioma Joy Okonkwo. That's our website www.chiomaokonkwo.com, or just go on Google, type Chioma Joy Okonkwo, and the first link you would get is to our website. So in our website, you will see the contact on how to reach out on Facebook, via email, and via lots of a channel.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so if
all
you have
there.
questions, this
All
is the
there.
time to drop it. And I know Dr. Chioma Joy Okonkwo is an author. She has written a couple of books which she would want you to get. And you can share with us, Dr. Okonkwo, what is some of the books you have available, some of the products you have. I know on your website there are a couple of courses in the academy which people can enroll for and also take. But in terms of your book, tell us about them and how we can access them.
Okay, during the course of this the school, the night school, I mentioned about how my support system played like a very vital role in my academic journey. The levels of success I've attained were all made possible via the by being able to leverage the power of support system. So my latest resource is that I created a course on how to build solid support systems as a tertiary student. It's a course that I created, and it's available on Seller. The course is available on Seller. You can, and for undergraduate, postgraduate students, I'm the lead trainer of Grandmaster Academy, and one of the resources we have in the academy is the University Success Bundle. So in this bundle, I was able to come up with a number of resources and just make it into a bundle, something that is pocket friendly for students. I talked about scholarship, how to assess global opportunities. I talked about growth mindset. I shared my story. I talked about how you can also build a support system, all this thing in this bundle. So you can, yes, you can simply get it all from my from Seller. That particular bundle is seller.co/6445. Stellar.co/6445, or you can just simply visit my store on Stellar. You will find this resource there. So these are the two main resources I'm promoting for now that will be relevant to the audience. So the course on support system, I highly recommend that. And just the university success bundle. I talked about, I just envisioned what is it that a student would need to thrive, to succeed. And I made several resources into that bundle. So in that bundle, you have summary notes, and the bundle comes with bonuses. You have in that bundle, you have you in the bundle, you're also going to have access to a daily planner. Okay, a daily planner. Thank you so much for putting that off. Yes, so these are my resources there on Seller. You can find all that. The Grandmaster University Success Bundle is there. It's going for a discount. That price won't be there for long. So if you're going to take advantage of it, you can just do so. And how to build a solid support system as well, as it's going at a discounted price, so of $9.99, and you can take advantage of those resources. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Mr. Biodun. It's been an interesting and wonderful
Amazing.
session with you as always.
Thank you so much too. We're so delighted to have you tonight.
Yeah,
So do well,
likewise. Likewise.
take a screenshot of what you have on your screen and visit that link. Also go to our website www.chiomaokonkwo.com. I can guarantee you the resources there are valuable. And maybe I've not said this publicly. I'm also one of the trainers at Grandmasters Academy. So I can tell you, I don't get involved in what is not excellent. And I don't get involved in what is not true and what is not good. So visit that website, take the courses, and then you will see your life change in no small way. Thank you so much, Dr. C.J. Okonkwo. And
Thank you.
what should we be expecting from you in couple of months, days, and all? I think the audience are interested. What should we be expecting from you? Probably there are
um,
some things you're working on. There are some things coming on, and
yeah,
we just want to get go.
you know, I'm working on like converting the course into an ebook something that will have maybe like a hard copy that students can have and read along with the digital, the soft copy. So that's like a project I'm working on. Like hopefully in April, I'm going to launch that ebook on support system because it's a gap. People have students have not really been taught how to leverage their support system. So you hear students, the average Nigerian student is stressed, having a horrible experience in school, but it doesn't have to be so. It doesn't have to be so. So you're welcome, Huda. You're welcome. So it's something I'm really passionate about. That people get to enjoy their schooling experience, not just something they go through. It's a burden, it's a chore. People get to truly make the most of their university days. So it's something I'm so keen on. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So I can see Emmanuel is saying this is really full of value. Uda is saying
You're
much
welcome,
value
Emmanuel.
gotten. Blessing, blessing is saying thank you, ma. So much value gotten. Thank you so much, Dr.
You're
CJ. We're
welcome. You're
delighted
welcome.
to have you host your growth school, and I know that every time we have to bring you again, I don't get to find it difficult. That's one thing you all should understand. And for her to come here, the value she has shared is worth seven figures in dollars. And I wish every one of you can take it. So go right now, go and
Yeah.
enjoy every of the value, pay for lots of those products. Those products are as cheap as you can think about it. Imagine 9.99 is not even up to $1. It's not even up to, sorry, it's more than $1. It's not up to 1,000 naira. Okay, digital safety and citizenship ebook bundle, grandmaster program, grandmaster university success and readiness bundle. Go on right now, get any of those products, and I can tell you that you will not remain the same. If you have younger ones who are undergraduate students or those who are preparing to get admission to the university or to the polytechnic,
Yeah.
get a copy for them, send to them, and then they will thank you and and will remain forever grateful to you.
Yeah,
So
they
thank
can
you so
follow
much.
me. I'm very active on my socials. I'm very active on TikTok. I share academic coaching tips on TikTok as well at double dog chi on TikTok. So I'm very active on TikTok as well. So they can reach out to me on TikTok as well.
Yes, I agree. I agree perfectly. See, instead of staying on some of those dumb things on TikTok, invest your mind in things that are valuable. Princess is saying, much value gotten tonight. Thank you, ma. Thank you
You're
also, Princess,
welcome.
for joining. So
You're
that's
welcome.
a handle on TikTok. Just go on. If you go on Google, it will direct you to our Facebook handle. Our Facebook is also really valuable. There are lots of videos there that you can watch. Do well to follow her this night, like this night. Follow her on TikTok. Follow her on Facebook. Okay. Also, do well to subscribe to our newsletter on our website, okay? www.chiomaokonkwo.com. Delighted to have everyone here. Thank you so, so much. Dr. Okonkwo, I'm really grateful.
You're
I will
welcome. You're
talk
welcome.
to
It's been a
you
pleasure.
after. Yeah, thank you so much. So I'll talk to you after this program. All right, everyone. That's it for tonight. Growth School, always inspiring, always motivating, always changing lives in the way that we can, always willing to make you better than you ever think you can, and making you rise to the greatest peak than you can ever imagine. That's what Growth School is about. And I wish to see you again next week as we have another session of Growth School. Do well to subscribe to this channel, share this video with as many as your friends, post it on all groups and platforms that you belong to. Let them come, enjoy the value, listen to the things we have learned tonight, and thank you for a very long time. See you again, and see you when we see next week. Thank you. Blessing for life. for appreciating. Bye-bye.
Give